Hello. So today I'm talking about the easiest way to lucid dream almost without fail. So if you want to lucid dream almost like basically without a doubt, you want to lucid dream, I got the method for you. So I've been lucid dreaming since I was a little girl. And I have a very intense dream life. And it's getting more and more and more intense as I get older. So I'm almost 30 now. I had psychosis, and now I'm almost in constant communication with something external to myself. And I basically, it creates a kind of a very busy life, So if you're taking this on, just realize that you're adding more things to your plate. So there's more things to worry about. It's like a second life that you're having to tend to, like a garden. I wake up at like 2:30 in the morning, and I have to talk to a couple different alien species. Last night I was talking to an old man, at 4 o'clock in the morning. I woke up and I spent a couple hours not being able to get back to sleep. And I took these pills, which I'm going to talk about soon, which enable you to lucid dream without a doubt, almost without fail. These are the magic pills for lucid dreaming. I take them approximately twice a month, if that. And I will, oh my god, the bottle was open. I will go ahead and show you what they are. So, it is called Galantamine. And this is the specific brand that I get. Smart Life Tree Galantamine. 8 milligrams, I feel like is a good dosage for pretty extreme lucid dreaming. Sorry, my nails are dirty. I've been gardening all day, planting a vegetable garden, because I still do stuff in the real world, but I do spend a lot of time in places like this. And this one you can get on Amazon. I think it's like, I live in New Zealand, so this ends up with the exchange rate. This ends up costing me like $60, but this will last me 60 capsules. This will last me like a year or more. I've had this for pretty much over a year now, and I still have like tons and tons and tons and tons of pills. So I don't rely on this, and that's another thing, that you should not rely on this, but this should give you a good kind of map of the territory, and a kind of good idea of how it's done. And I find that if you do this once a week, twice a month, once a month, something like that, you kind of get a feel for what it's like to lucid dream, and then you can start communicating with your unconscious mind, and informing it that you are intending to lucid dream. Another good idea for lucid dreaming is to journal. So, and writing down your dreams every morning. I don't always do it. I have so much crazy shit that it would be exhausting. It would be like an hour of writing every morning if I was to really talk about what happened the night previous. I have a very crazy life. In the other worlds, I am always in constant communication. Another thing that you need to take in conjunction with galantamine is choline, and this is the one I get. I don't remember. This one works, so it works. This stuff works. There's so many different types of choline. This specific one, you can see, is called L-choline bitarate, 500 milligrams. You take 2 of these capsules. You can take 2 of these capsules when you go to sleep. Yeah, so you can take 2 of these capsules when you go to sleep. When you first go to sleep, you should be fine. And then you want to wait 4 hours after you fall asleep. Set an alarm. Get up. So for me, if I go to bed at 9, I will set an alarm for 1 o'clock. And then I will wake up. I will take one of these. And then the next 4 hours will be very intense lucid dreams and stuff. For me, it gets a little bit crazier than just lucid dreaming with this stuff. This is really rocket fuel. If you want to reliably have crazy experiences, like this is like, I mean, it's not legal in, I think without a prescription in New Zealand. And I think that a prescription for this stuff is like $200 a bottle in New Zealand. So I just order it on Amazon and get it sent to New Zealand. Because you cannot get this over the counter. So yeah, that's basically it. And yeah, so I just thought I would talk about that. You know, and then some tips and tricks, I guess, for lucid dreaming. Is that you want to... There's a couple of different ones. If you want something to appear in a lucid dream, you can do reality checks. I don't do this. You like reality checks like throughout the day. You're like, is this real? Is this a dream? Like every time you touch a doorknob, you think like, am I dreaming? And that kind of gets it in your mind to start. So that when you're dreaming, you'll like be walking around unconsciously, and then you'll be like, wait, am I dreaming? And you'll be like, oh, I am dreaming, and then you can like kind of wake up to the fact that you are dreaming. Another one is don't be afraid. My boyfriend calls this inviting the devil in for tea. So if something is chasing you, if you are plummeting from the sky and you're about to like fall into a vortex, or you're about to smash into the earth, or you're going out of orbit and it's getting crazy, or you're interacting with something that's chasing you or trying to eat you, or anything like that, the best way to make it stop, and this goes for almost, this is beyond just lucid dreaming advice at this point. I mean, the best way to make it stop is to not be afraid. And in some cases, you can ask the being that's like trying to thwart your progress. You can be like, you can ask it what it wants. You can turn around and like literally face it. There's been people who are shooting me. This one just comes to mind. It was a janitor, and he had a gun, and he pointed it at me. This was a while ago. And what I did was I consumed my soul with love for him. And I ran straight at the gun. And then he dropped the gun and he was like, thank you. And I was like, no problem. And then I like ran away, because like there's not much else usually to be gained or understood from those types of beings. Another thing you should do is be wary of certain beings. Like I had a dream the other night where I was, I have a lot of dreams where I'm having sex with different beings. I have a lot of dreams where I'm having sex with different beings. I happen to be, I have a lot of Scorpio. So even when I was a little girl, I was kind of like hypersexual. So I have like sex with beings. I was having sex with this girl, and I was kind of wary of her because I know to be wary of beings and people and stuff inside of dreams. And she told me, I'm not a succubus. And I was like, that sounds like exactly what a succubus would say. So I think I had sex with her anyway. So that goes to show I don't take my own advice. Anyway, writing down your dreams, it's a good idea if you're first getting into lucid dreaming. What else is a good idea? Yeah, inviting the devil in for tea. So asking, if you're like plummeting from Earth, so if you're not that great at flying, don't be afraid of crashing. Don't be afraid. You're not going to get hurt. So don't be afraid. Even if you can't fly very good, you can learn how to fly. You can ask, okay, you can ask beings within dreams. If you want something to manifest, if you want to open up a portal, if you want to walk through a mirror because sometimes a mirror can like be a portal to another thing. Anything. I've had ovens open up and it's a portal to another plane. You can ask beings if there's any beings around you. You can ask them to help you. If you're too needy of that, sometimes you'll get, they'll fuck with you. But if you're genuine, if you're honest and you find the right one, and generally, your intuition kicks in inside the dream, and you know who to talk to. So there'll be just like some guy or something that just like stands out, and you're like, that's the person, that's the being, that's the whatever that has the answer, or that can help guide me through this. Because sometimes you're walking through kind of a no man's land if you're in like a city, or if you're in like a if you're in a forest with beings, or if you're in a different plane or a different thing with different beings, and they're walking around, you see like lots of different stuff going around you, and nothing's really standing out, and you're a little confused, and you don't know what to do, and you don't know what the point is of what you're doing. The best thing is to like relax. I've had voices. I talk to voices. I've had voices give me advice about this. To not be too needy of a result. They've told me, like, that's the gist of it. Like trying to figure out what's your next move, because it does feel like sometimes in a lucid dream that there is a time crunch, and it also can be quite difficult to concentrate. So once you wake up inside of a dream, it's like the timer that starts ticking, because you're like, you could wake yourself out. Like anything like too frightening, or your focus might not be very good. Another practice to involve yourself in, this is a little scattered, but this is all kind of the advice. Another practice would be meditation. That's going to help. That has helped me, and it is helping me to have longer conversations with spirits. I'm able to talk to an old man last night that was telling me about, you are specialized human. He would tell me I'm some sort of specialized human, and then he was describing it. There was a term, it was a specific term, and I thought, oh, I'll write that down when I wake up. I didn't write it down. And I was lying awake, actually. So I was just lying awake. And some old, wise male being, figure, spirit was telling me. I've had like aliens come in and tell me, like, you come from this homeland. I got the ears for the listening, so I got the hips for the samba. I got the ears for the listening, so I get spoken to, and I get talked to and directed as to what what's my fate, what's my fate, and yeah, I get told lots of stuff all the time, and so this is kind of my bread and butter. So meditation is going to help. Physical exercise going to help. If you are physically more capable in the real world, then you will be able to run faster inside the dream world. You'll be able to fly faster. You'll be more quick-witted, agile, and stuff like that, and that translates into the dreaming. So being physically fit actually translates. Having more focus and meditation actually translates. Going to the bed at the same time every night helps. Early, ideally, like 8, 9, 10, like really would help your dreaming. So because I find that most of the lucid dreaming happens in the early, at the later stages of your sleep, in the early in the morning. So the last 2 or 3 hours of my sleep is generally the most active dreaming that I do. But you could wake me up at any point throughout the night, and I will have just been dreaming. So I'm a constant dreamer. I dream the entire night. Another thing that would help, that has helped me, is veganism. Vegetarianism helps. Veganism helps. Not eating meat for some reason helps. And ethically, it helps that you'll have cleaner dreams. If you're doing like ethical things, so volunteering would even help. Like if you're actually focusing on being more ethical and like a better person, like genuinely, and not just for show, not just because you're getting paid, or because just because it like it's like part of your paycheck involves being a good person. Actually, when no one's looking, being a good person is going to help your dreaming, and you're going to get like advice from angels and stuff like that, because they will appreciate that you're doing stuff like that. That's how it works here in the world. The good sometimes do get rewarded. You won't necessarily get paid, but you get like spiritual riches. So depends on what you're going for. If you just want to like have sex with aliens or see some cool stuff or whatever, or if you want to like enrich your spiritual soul, all of that stuff is possible. And I don't think it's any one goal that you need to have really for it. But I do find, so veganism has, and specifically raw veganism. So it's a tier. It's like vegetarianism, veganism, and like raw veganism. Raw veganism, which means you're vegan and you don't cook your food. That's going to really make your dreaming very much better. And other gifts like will start seriously coming. Fasting helps. Mono meals. So if you go a period of time eating only one type of food, I've been doing this lately with good results. The whole world is sparkly to me. Like I feel connected to everything. I've been eating apples. I've been cheating, but I've been eating almost pretty much basically apples for the last 2 weeks, and I'm going to go for a third week, and I might do a fourth week. So I'm doing like a whole month of apples. What are some other dreaming tips? I was going to talk to the cards about some other ideas. Yeah, let's do that. Other things that come to mind. I thought I was psychically severed from this one being that is a person. I felt a distinct cut, like in the spiritually. I could see it manifesting on the physical plane too, and I could see it. I just wasn't speaking to this person anymore, who comes in as kind of like a teacher, guide, guru slash. Like wants to be in a relationship with me, or like fuck me or something like that. I felt a distinct severance from this person, and then I was feeling kind of like drained and empty, but really good. And then things really started. I mean, I have a boyfriend, so things really started picking up with my boyfriend now, and to the point where it's beautiful. And I guess I only speak about this because, and yeah, I guess it gets a little dicey because it's like I don't have any contact with this guide or whatever. I have many. I have several, but this is one that comes in a lot of the time. It happens to be a real person as well. And so I basically have access to a little bit of their data bank I felt, and so then I took this last night, and then I felt cut off from, this, like, a little bit of, like, the spirit plane, a little bit. I was feeling empty and drained, but then they came in kind of, like, full force last night, offering things, and, it's very disconcerting, and at this point I'm like finding it a little difficult knowing how to navigate that. But then, 5 of Cups. So all arrows point towards like I need to somehow get this person out of me, get this guide out of me so that I can like open up to bigger and better things. And I've asked about him to other spirits. I've asked, well, what is it with this person? And they said he could be your pet. Me thinking like this is someone to like look up to. I've been told, and I've been told this by numerous different beings, like who he's a nerd. Like he could be your pet. You wanna like him? Yeah, let me think. They're always like, and I've been like kicked out for asking about him. They're like, just get out of here. Fuck that. That's not the point. So nobody or nothing seems to care about him in my field, and or seems to think it's useful keeping him as a supplier of anything like that. There's nothing there for me. So, but yeah, I got the whole enchilada last night. I got crazy experiences. Lots of different beings, lots of different astral journey. Had an astral, I actually astral traveled, so I didn't just lucid dream last night. Took this stuff and I astral traveled. We'll talk about that. I astral traveled. I was flying, and I was flying so well. And I had some voices telling me at the time, you're doing very well flying. I was just flying very, very concisely and well. And it turned over. Sometimes if you fly straight up, you can go into different planes. I think sometimes the further up you go, you don't necessarily go to outer space. You can go to like different astral planes and stuff like that. So I was flying astrally. This was not lucid dreaming. This was astral. And it went into like this thing where I was in a big bright room with a giant guy who I could only see like his knees and like his robes, and like everything else was kind of like black. And he had like a throne there, and there was a baby on the throne. So I couldn't see him. He was this giant presence, and it was a little frightening. The high priestess. It was a little frightening, and then there was like a baby on the throne, and I was like, oh, I was like kind of like scared, like it was like kind of ominous like vibe, like this big being, and you had to be there. You had to really be there, and I was like, who are you? And he wouldn't like show him the devil. He wouldn't show himself to me, so I tried to like really focus and like clear away the blackness so that I could see his face, and it gave me like full body like vibrational like power, something powerful and weird, and he was pulling away legs from the throne that the baby was on. So he was like taking away legs so that it was on like 3 legs, and there was a baby on there. And I tried to see who he was, and I couldn't. I became like combined with him, and my whole like head started like vibrating with like power and confusion, like zzz, like and then I got out of there. So I woke up. I decided to wake, or I woke. I couldn't hold it. It was too much. So that's kind of stuff that can happen. The moon. So that's kind of stuff that can happen. On galantamine. So I'm gonna pull. I've been talking a little bit about my life. I'm gonna pull for like, what is the advice about galantamine? Let's ask a question. Should you take galantamine? Is it okay to take galantamine? I don't know. Or should you just learn how to do it naturally and not ever take stuff to help it along? last bad question. Is it okay to take Galantamine? Is it okay? Ooh, I don't want to know this, I'm finding. Because I like it. I like it. Because it really, it gives me a crazy stuff happens to me when I take it. Is it okay to take Galantamine? Page of Wands in reverse. Yeah. That's like scatterbrained. So that, I guess some discipline is needed. I would say that's like a scatterbrained Page of Wands in reverse. Yeah, okay. Is it okay to take Galantamine once a month? Oop. The Sun. Yeah, okay, so it's like sometimes take it. Cool. And any other advice about lucid dreaming? I'll just ask that. Any other advice? Ooh, King of Wands. Yeah, there's a lot of manifestive, and it's like methodical. So I think you could do some research. I just happen to be very naturally good at it. But if you want to be better at it, like you could take like the masculine, fiery kind of approach and like kind of do some research about actually methods for lucid dreaming, and like if you really like are intent on doing it and it really want to like master it, for instance, it's a wonderful thing to master. You can get a lot done in a lucid dream. I think you can solve a lot of puzzles and riddles, and a lot of karma can get broken down into like a granular thing that you can look at in a dream. It's your unconscious really working itself out, and I don't even know the full scope of what's possible inside dreams. I know like you can do spell work and you can do all types of things inside of dreams, and so yeah, that's really all I have to say, I think. Ace of Swords in reverse at the bottom of the deck. Yeah, I haven't like been that great at communicating. But yeah, so that is my video. That is my video. Thanks.